This is a big decision by Nasdaq. Could have a huge implication on over 3,000 companies. Of course, there are folks, the second this was announced, that said maybe a good idea that businesses should be pursuing, but not necessarily a rule. What do you think?
I think that, we're splitting hairs here. I think that what Nasdaq did is an affirmative move. It is one that, as we spoke about before on this show, it's one that is long in coming. There is a body of evidence, full body of evidence, that companies perform better with diverse boards. And so pushing against this or arguing against it, in my opinion, is actually senseless. It's something that we should get on with and just do. Companies across the United States, across the world, are starting to recognize this, and Nasdaq is just giving it a boost, actually, to push it forward.
Darren, do you think, interestingly, the government, oddly enough, I don't know if it's oddly enough because it's a private business, Nasdaq's a private business, does have to approve this?
That's right. But Andrew, let's be really clear here. This is about performance. This is about productivity, and this is about profit. So this is not about political correctness. This will inure to the bottom line of every company that adopts this policy. I think the challenge here is that there are people who don't like being told to do the right thing. And I think what we know is from this year, I find that when I serve on boards, and I serve on 3 public company boards, the goal is to have every director accrete some value add to help the enterprise. If we look back this year, there were many companies in this environment who were not resilient in a moment where diversity would have helped those boards. I found myself in a situation, Andrew, with a CEO who had no diversity on his board or in his operating committee, asking me to join him in a meeting with his Black employees. Now, had he had a diverse board, he wouldn't have to call his Black friend and say, would you come to meet with the Black employees so that they understand that I care about our issues. If you care about the issues of your diverse employees, your board will look like them.
Right. It's not only your employees.
Ursula, we've had this. Yep, go ahead.
Your employees, it's your customers, it's your shareholders. The world is a diverse world. And so inclusion of all types of people in decision-making, in sharing of the gains and of the suffering is natural. So the debate and the discussion about whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, I think, is in the past. Now what we have to do is get on with it. And I really applaud NASDAQ in actually being the first in the United States to actually step out in this type of agency, to step out and move forward. And it does require government intervention and approval. And I think when that happens, because I am fairly confident that will happen, when that happens, it will be just an amazingly positive step forward for America's diversity and inclusion efforts.
Okay, Ursula, I want you to speak to this. I know we've talked about it before. I thought a bit hammered on Twitter yesterday when some people seemed to think I was advocating, and to some degree I am advocating for what I think is happening here. I think it's very important that we have more diversity on boards, but people come back and they say, look, what about meritocracy? Why are you doing this just based on somebody's gender or somebody's age? They say, Sorkin, you're a middle-aged white man. We could, frankly, I think we all would agree we'd want more diversity even on our own network. This is a zero-sum game. You're going to be hurting other people. What do you tell those people out there who have that view?
We have never in America practiced this theory or seen this theory of a zero-sum game. This argument comes up only when we speak about diversity and inclusion, about including people who have the right, who have the talent. We have never discussed, and I don't think NASDAQ is discussing. I know the Board Diversity Action Alliance, Teneo, Ford Foundation, the ELC, all of the people engaged, companies across America are not speaking about including people who are not up to the challenge and up to the game, who are not skilled in doing the work that's required. That's not a debate at all. And we seem to throw this debate in to kind of, I think, derail the conversation. We're talking about including skilled, diverse people on boards. Right. They exist. They have not been included in the past for myriad of reasons. Part of it is because people believe that white men own these seats. We're talking about including skilled people into the mix so that we can have better outcomes. As Darren said, this is not charity. This is a better bottom line, better financial performance, better and happier employees.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.